In this video, we're going to be talking about nonne and nome. We already talked about nonne back in the Grammar for 3C on page 173. Nome is new. It's from the Grammar for 4A on pages 198 through 99. Languages typically have ways to indicate that a yes or a no answer is expected when a question is asked. These questions in English expect a yes answer. If I say, "Don't you like pizza?" the expected answer is, "Well, yes, I do like pizza." If I say, "You like pizza, don't you?" I expect you to answer, "Yes, I do like pizza." This "don't you" is interesting. It's called a tag question. English commonly uses tag questions like this to create questions that expect yes or no answers. Here are other examples of questions with tag questions at the end of them. You saw Bill, didn't you? We don't have the money, do we? You're coming, aren't you? Those are all tag questions, and tag questions are the standard way in modern English to indicate that a yes or a no answer is expected. We'll be talking about tag questions later. Here's another example. This question in English expects a no answer. You don't like pizza, do you? Again, it's marked with a tag question to indicate that we expect a no answer. And the conversation goes something like this. You don't like pizza, do you? And the answer would be, no, I don't. In Latin, nonne is put at the beginning of a sentence that expects a yes answer. Nonne is just non, the word for not in Latin, plus ne, which is the question particle, the word that indicates that we're asking a question. This makes a great deal of sense. Around the world, if you ask a question negatively, it means you expect a yes answer. For instance, if I say to you, "Didn't you bring money?" I'm expecting you to say that you brought money. Or if I say, "Don't you have money?" I'm expecting you to say, "Yes, you have money." So nonne is just a negative way of casting a question, and that naturally leads to a yes answer. So here's an example. Nonne me amas? This is a question expecting a yes answer. You could translate it just, "Don't you love me?" as a negative question. If you want to be a little bit lazy, you can say, "Surely you love me," and just sort of raise your voice with the statement, "You love me." The most sophisticated way to handle this nonne, however, is to use a tag question, as in, "You love me, don't you?" In Latin, num is put at the beginning of a sentence that expects a no answer. For instance, "Non me amas?" You could translate this, "Surely you don't love me." Or you could translate this, "You don't love me, do you?" Again, using a tag question, which is really the more sophisticated way to do this. Let's talk about the logic of tag questions. There are a couple patterns to remember. The first one is yes, no, yes. Let's say you want to construct a question that expects a yes answer. That's what this yes here at the end represents. The pattern you have to follow then is yes, no, yes. Let's look at this. You love me, don't you? Yes, I do. Watch how this conversation here fits into the pattern of yes, no, yes. Yes, this is positive, you love me. Don't you? That's negative, don't. And this is positive, yes, I do. So the key thing if you want to create a tag question that expresses or expects a yes answer is to structure your question keeping this yes, no, yes pattern in mind. Yes, no, yes. Here's another example. You will come, won't you? Yes, I will. Here's the expected yes answer. And again, the pattern is yes, no, yes. Now let's say you want a no answer. Then the pattern you want to keep in mind is no, yes, no. For instance, you don't love me, do you? No, I don't. Here is no, yes, no. And again, one more time. You won't go to the party, will you? No, I won't. Again, that's no, yes, no. Let's get a little practice with doing tag questions with the word nonne. Here's a question. Nonne Bacchidem vidisti? Vidisti is, of course, you saw. Bacchidem is the accusative of Bacchus, so this is you saw Bacchus. The nonne tells us that this is a question that's going to expect a yes answer. So if we want to construct a tag question to render this, what we're going to do is we're going to follow the pattern of yes, no, yes, since we're expecting a yes answer. So this is what we do. You saw Bacchus, didn't you? And here's the answer, yes, I did. The pattern is yes, no, yes. We begin with the statement, you saw Bacchus. Notice it's a statement, it's not a question. That sometimes confuses people. You start with a statement, and then you make it negative, didn't you? And then here's the answer, yes, I did. Yes, no, yes. So the correct translation of nonne Bacchidem vidisti is, you saw Bacchus, didn't you? Here's an example with num. Let's say we want to translate num Bacchidem vidisti. This is the same thing. You saw Bacchus. Num here indicates that we want to have a no answer. So the pattern we have to follow is no, yes, no. And this is what we get. No, yes, no. You didn't see Bacchus, did you? No, I didn't. Here's the no, and notice how it's put in the form of a statement, not a question. Then here's the question in the form of a yes, the little tag question, and here is the expected answer, no, I didn't. So the correct translation of num Bacchidem vidisti is, you didn't see Bacchus, did you?
The end. This has been a Barking Blue Heeler production.